Shibbity-boo. All right, Pat. We are full throttle back into the neon era. But we're not relinquishing the good times. We're staying on the good vibes.
Did we ever leave?
I guess not.
Oh,
we're still here. Hello, everyone.
hello, internet. I think that I forgot already about the Blink draft. I'm so tired from swearing so much and making you edit so many swear words out of the Blink draft that I forgot where we were in the decade. Yes. Can you tell there slightly less energy to enter this week's episode, which we're gonna bring it down. We're gonna bring it way down and talk about who?
Hello, goodbye.
Which I don't know if it's appropriate to bring it down for them. I guess we'll get into later whether or not they have the if they rock or not. I guess it's kind of a simple question we tend to ask on the show, but we don't really have to start off so hot. We can maybe let our lovely Instagram and Twitter followers get hot for us. Would you like to get to the mailbag? Should we start off with some steamy takes, some spicy takes?
Spice it up, Patty.
We're about to.
Patty boy. I've never called you Patty before, and I hate it.
Patty boy.
What is going on, everybody? I'm Tom.
And I'm Pat.
We're best friends, and you're listening to the Reminiscent Podcast.
Roommate in college used to, for a brief time, whenever he would be having a couple drinks, he'd call me patio furniture because it's like kind of a Irish thing, but like apostrophe furniture. Anyway. That's
awesome.
I promise to deliver a slightly better anecdote before the episode's over, because if that were the only one, that'd be a pretty sad state of affairs. Okay. My wife, for example, just to start things out, coined a new subgenre. It might be out there already, but I asked her for her thoughts on Hellogoodbye. She said, quote, cutesy electronica. And I think that could apply to The Secret Handshake. It could apply to many, many, many Neon era bands. So cutesy electronica, I thought
Never shout never.
Yeah. Hey, I'm into it. I think it's, there's a lot. She works efficiently. Gave me 2 words. And to be honest, it took me, I had to be like, actually, that is going to make me think for a little while. Anyway, Adrian, our buddy Adrian on Twitter, Hellogoodbye has aged poorly.
Oh,
coming in
Adrian.
Strong.
Settle down there, bud.
With the notable exception of 2 weeks in Hawaii, which still rips. And then he went into an anecdote on Twitter that I will not reveal the full details of, but he has a memory of asking a girl out on MySpace while listening to that song on repeat. It is the final track, I believe, on Zombies, Aliens, etc., the album that we're kind of dealing with today loosely or tangentially. Anyway, big can relate on that one. Refreshing the MySpace page and listening to 2 Weeks in Hawaii is actually a really good song for that. I hadn't really been super familiar with it before we brought it up. I'm like, okay, man, I realized by the end of it, I had been laying on the floor staring at the ceiling. I'm like, come on, stand up. You're almost 30. We don't have to do this anymore. No, just kidding. Someone replied to him, would it kill you still slaps? And he said, slaps is a little strong, but it has some good love songs on it. But definitely some interesting has Hellogoodbye aged poorly talk on the forum. What do you think, Tom? What are your thoughts here?
Well, I haven't listened to Hellogoodbye since 2007, so I don't know if that means that's accurate.
So it hasn't aged at all. It's
so
like a time capsule of your heart.
Pretty much. Honestly, like Hellogoodbye exists in one like singular moment for me, and it was like missing a girl, right? And
sure.
I think I was,
which girl?
Hannah. And I was also
there you go.
doing an assignment in your aunt's English class. So it makes me think of my girlfriend and your aunt.
Hey, we only half have similar relationships with this music then, because this music does not make me think of my aunt, who was a very talented English teacher.
But
for
it
a long
makes
time.
you think of
She's
Hannah?
now retired. Oh. No, actually, if anything, it would be one of her friends, probably.
Well, Hannah,
the cutesy electronica crowd.
Hannah is the one that I believe introduced probably both of us to this band.
I think James had me on Shimmy Shimmy Quarter Turn back in junior high, I think it's possible. But again, it's like we're talking about a 10-month window where it could have been any of those people. So all of our Sherpas kind of live in that sweet spot there. Austin on Twitter had an interesting take as well, I thought, which was I'd like you guys to do a Hello Goodbye episode, essentially, and quote, because of the middle school talent show acts it spawned, end quote, which is, wow, there's a lot there. I want to know what those stories are, but you also, in the Erie scene, there was definitely like grab a keyboard and sing about how your heart hurts type stuff going on, right?
It was grab either Fruity Loops or Ableton, and I feel like everyone started doing
Fruity Loops. Not being a sponsor on our show by this point is a disgrace. It's a disaster. We need to reach out. We'll have to have our people reach out to their people.
I think every scene had a couple of these single person acts spawn up. In fact, our buddy Zach, who was on a few episodes, he ended up in a band called Tyrannic Fusion that kind of got a little more like once Attack came on the scene. Then Tyrannic Fusion had a couple more breakdowns, but it was like it started as basically a Hello Goodbye ripoff. And I remember at this point, I was already in college. It was my freshman year of college, and this girl I was in love with like sent me this song. We had this like friends thing, but we were kind of in love with each other. Never actually dated. And she like sent me this song like, oh, this guy sent me this song that he wrote about me, and it was like song about a girl, how I'm not good enough, I'll never be with her, and it was basically just Hello Goodbye. And first of all, I remember being so jealous that she was getting attention from some other guy, but I remember just being like, this was done 5 years ago, like, but then everyone started doing it. I feel like I guess there was like a resurgence of Hello Goodbye.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Did they deserve more credit for spawning what ended up being like even late neon-y, I guess, behavior? You know what I mean? Like, were they way more influential than we're talking? Like in this song in particular, I think in terms of Adrian's point about them aging well or not, like I think this is just a good hit song. There's like a relatable first verse. They're like, we're in a car, you know, I like where you are here in my whatever. It's like, yeah, it's the most. You don't have to go very far to understand exactly where the narrator's coming from or what headspace they're in. Right. So in terms of this song, I think it ages just fine. I don't know, but it was interesting to hear like auto-tune kind of shamelessly for the first time, I guess, in my life would be what this song was for me. I don't know. Do they deserve more credit? I don't know if we're at the point in the show where we don't know if we're going to gush or go negative. So I'm like, this is kind of a fulcrum point here a little bit, I guess. A lot of weight on this. Not fulcrum. This is not whatever. I don't know. Do they deserve more credit? I'll keep it simple. I'll stop talking.
So, okay. I'm probably not the person to comment
real quick,
on this.
Sorry. I know I like interrupt you all the time. My question style on this show is answer my own question while I'm asking it and not let you talk at all, which is like a very unproductive two-host show format, like use of resources. So I just wanted to issue my weekly apology to everybody for everything. But yes, Tom, does Hello Goodbye deserve more credit?
I don't think my opinion on that matters, unfortunately, because I only knew like 3 songs, and the question, does Hello Goodbye deserve more credit? I don't know. I think these songs are incredible. Like Here in Your Arms is incredible. It deserves as much credit as it can get. I don't think there could be too much credit because this song is absolutely incredible. The band itself, though, I don't know. Were they breaking much ground? I know my perception at the time is I've never heard anything like this. And it was very intriguing, but and again, this was before I was torrenting full albums. I was only getting whatever singles I could get, but I only really, really enjoyed 3 songs. I don't know what that means, but
here's how I feel. I think sometimes people who do something second and third and fourth do it better and are more successful. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I hate to reference I'm not going to swear less to make it less work for you, but on the Thanks, gosh darn movie. I can't believe I'm referencing the gosh darn movie, The Founder. But like the poor guys that invented the fast food model never even got really their due payday. Like the main McDonald's guy swooped in, basically stole the business from them. And then everybody was like, oh, this is how you make a lot of money. You sell the franchises. Anyway, they figured out how to make a ton of money off of it. But like he was doing weird keyboard stuff. I felt like mid 2000s, right? And had auto-tune working. And in the video we're about to talk about, there's so many accessories. There's like headbands and hats and sunglasses, which is like a total neon era staple, which we'll talk about more later.
Man, like I miss it.
I feel like Hello Goodbye, I'm trying to give word just due here. Like there was so much going on, it was hard to take it seriously. It was like, what the heck is this, right? But it's super fun. Shimmy Shimmy Quarter Turn, I would argue, does legitimately rock hard. But maybe they were like too new and weird. It's almost like the Dashboard thing where if they would have come 5 years later, they would have been right in the middle of what they helped create. It's almost like, to me, Hello Goodbye helped elements that later would be like totally mined for every dollar they were worth late in the neon scene, right?
Interesting.
I think that's the argument I'm trying to form as we kind of talk it out here, but maybe I'm being too nice. I don't know. Maybe they just wrote a couple of good songs and they were a quirky little act. Cutesy electronica. Again, my wife might have just done the whole episode in 2 words. They were a cutesy electronica. But I don't know. I'm excited to get into the very, very fun music video, but I know we have some fast facts first. I just want to do like question mark, question mark, question mark. Are they legit? Like, were they more influential than maybe we realized at the time? Get at us at _reminiscent FM on Twitter if you agree or disagree, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting. The whole video is interesting. And he's a more handsome guy than I remember. Because I remember it being this weird, totally awkward thing, but he's like a handsome dude. It's almost like we talk about it a lot on the show, like all these lead singers for these bands, you become a lead singer because you kind of are feeling yourself. You kind of have that mentality or whatever a lot of the time. And they always play this like super soy boy act or whatever. Not soy boy,
coy boy.
Kind of coy. Yeah, coy boy. I forgot the term you coined on the program, but anyway, that was like, okay, I guess, he's like super tall and symmetrical face guy. So, but I guess we'll play along with anyway, I wonder if we'll get the girl in the video. Anyway, let's do some fast facts after, thanks to everybody who tweeted at us. I think we're going to try to do that a little more. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter, and we will read your takes, all the takes.
So unfortunately, I could not find any information about the music video, the director, the location, or anything, which I would love to know where they filmed this. I think it'd be fun to...
It was at Camp Oladios.
Oh, okay. The real place called Camp
it's a city in... Yep.
Which is brilliant. We got to touch on that. But
I know. That might be the best thing we've had in music. Other than like Gerard Way stuff. It's like right under the Gerard Way tier of creativity.
So this was nominated for the Kerrang Award for Best Video. Song went platinum in the US. It released in 2005, which was funny because that's like so much earlier than I remembered. But there was a line in the Wikipedia about it had a resurgence in 2007. And like, that's when I remember hearing it. So I kind of want to know the lore behind like what brought it back in 2007. I think it might have been the music video. They recorded it a bit later. And it actually...
See, for me, it was James McCallion. 2005 was years where I became... Alien Zombies, whatever. I can't remember the exact name of this album title, but that was on a Burn City making the rounds in 8th grade, as well as A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. And they were both in very new sounding things. And I just remember being like, my world is expanding. I don't know. It just felt super new. But I only credit to James for that. But it was like, okay. There's a lot happening here. It was new. It was fun though. Anyway, I interrupted you.
No, I mean, I heard about it, I guess, during the resurgence. Hannah introduced it to me. Maybe 2008, because I don't think we were really... I wasn't single in 2008, which is like when we started hanging out and then dating. But it did chart number 14 in the US Top 40, which is crazy because, like, I don't know, man.
It's a good hit, man.
It is really good. It is good. And, like, does it deserve more credit? I don't ever remember anyone really talking about Hello Goodbye. But it's a killer song, and they did well. They sold 1 million copies of this song in the US. Like... crazy. And then, okay, in their early career, they toured with a bunch of bands that we know, love, and talk about. And it totally makes sense, the people that they toured with. First of all, Reggie and the Full Effect. Very interesting. First show I ever went to was Newfound Glory, Isley, and Reggie and the Full Effect.
As you read this list, I don't know if anybody listens to the New York Times Daily, but the host, Michael Barbaro, has been really like reacting to things louder lately, I've noticed. I don't know if anyone else knows, but I'm going to do my best impression of him as you read through these names.
All right. So we have Cute Is What We Aim For. We've got Boys Like Girls. We've got Plain White Tees, which that one album kind of slaps.
Huh.
We have Never Shout Never. Ace Enders. And I don't know if you would know this, Pat. Play Radio Play. This song to me, if I had to one up your wife and put it into one word, I would say MySpace. Like, I feel like,
yes.
oh
Wow.
my
Nice.
God,
That's an
dude.
interesting game. Maybe we should start playing like, what's this episode in 3 words, 2 words, 1 word? In 2 words, it's cutesy electronica. In 1 word,
MySpace.
it's MySpace. Yeah, we tweeted a video out the other day. Well, we didn't make it. We just quote tweeted it, but it was getting passed around. I think State of the Scene pod had originally tweeted it maybe, but it was just one of those compilations like most MySpacey bands. And this was right in the middle and made the most sense to me as well. Although I remember the album artwork. I don't remember it being so MySpace that I wasn't familiar with like what the actual CD version might have looked like even. Fun artwork. Can we talk about that for like a quick second? Like the animated alien and everything like that. I was just like, hey, this is fun. I don't know.
Which, again, dinosaurs and aliens and stuff was so 2006, 2007.
It's roar culture for sure. I mean, were they ahead of like?
Were they the roar culture?
So I'm going to say it. Yeah, they're groundbreaking the roar culture with the WAWR. But if you're listening to the show, you knew that's what I meant. I'm going to say it. Dashboard never got to reap the benefits from the scene they helped create, and I don't think Hellogoodbye ever got to reap the rewards for the neon total insanity they helped create, because it was a way different scene, but they were part of the weird. And I kind of want to get into the video at some point here, just to like so many accessories. It's kind of like in Parks and Rec when they go to Tom's apartment, they're like, it's amenities, only amenities. It's like, this is neon era scene, kids, accessories, only accessories. I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, let's get into the music video because it's amazing. But before we do, I want to shout out our new Patreon supporter, Katie Batting. Thanks, man. Super appreciate that. I got a new emo kid on the horizon here. And I want to shout out the new people when they sign up. So
Katie.
Thanks, Katie. Glad to have you. You'll be getting all the episodes early. So very cool. If you want to check out the Patreon, patreon.com/reminiscent, and to the music video. It is amazing. It's like absolutely incredible. But because it was built on the back of Wet Hot American Summer, right?
I was going to say, if this was an episode in 4 words, it would be Wet Hot American Summer, for sure.
And we can go back to 2, which is Wet Hot, because that's what everyone calls that movie anyway. So.
Hey! That was my nickname in high school as well, which is fun. It wasn't. It super wasn't. But you guys all know that, I'm sure. Okay. Let's talk about the sign. They're walking up. You said you find silent music video intros to be very unsettling.
No.
Can you explain
okay.
why?
So what I mean is...
Okay.
In the... Oh, God, what music video was that? The race cars that we did like not that long ago.
Oh, Forever the Sickest Kids.
Yeah. Well, so there's like car sounds through the video. That just like comes out of nowhere. It's like, God, dude, chill with the sound effects, man. I
was taking a sip of water. Otherwise, that would have been a bigger laugh.
I absolutely hate sound effects in music videos. I also hate long intros. But the intro for this music video, it's 2 girls walking into the camp. The camera stops on the sign, Camp Hola. What is it? Hola Dios. So clever, dude. Oh, my God.
Yes, hola / adios mashed together. Hello, goodbye. Yeah,
in Spanish.
Not too. Even for those of us who didn't take a 3rd year of Spanish in high school or college, it's pretty clear to see what they're going for there. I thought it was summer of 01, but I think it says summer of 91 at the end. It's a little clearer, so it's more of a retro throwback type thing, which would have been more in line with the Wet Hot American Summer, I think, time frame as well.
But back to the sound effects, right? So we see visuals. And it's absolute silence. And then the music starts. And it's like the first time in my life I've ever thought, man, this music video can use some sound effects here. Like some footsteps on gravel or something. Because the video even ends with a shot of that sign and it's nighttime. There's crickets. So like, I don't know, man. It just kind of drives me a little crazy to like see in action, but not hear anything and also not have any music. But...
So you were expecting a little more aggressive, gravelly, smushy as they walk towards the camp. Just a little.
You know,
actually, can you lay that down real quick so we can put it in a little bit?
Totally. I'll re-upload the video with footsteps inserted.
I'm just kidding. I really just want to hear you make the gravel noise again real quick before we proceed. Nice.
Perfect.
That could also be Scrooge McDuck with like wet sponges tied to his feet. It's hard to tell. I'm just kidding. I set you up there. That was an unfair thing. I appreciate you for It's like, hey, make this weird noise, and then I'm immediately going to flame you. Right? So not a super fun friend move. I realize, so I apologize. Okay, so it's 1991, and again, like I mentioned, here, I like where we are when we ride in your car. Type, it's like, cool. That's what this song is going to be.
So good.
Comfort food. Not, you know what I mean? It's pretty easy to like, cool, I'm in for the ride. And they're at a summer camp. Summer camp stuff's always fun. I've never went to one. Did you ever go to a sleepaway camp as a kid?
No, I do have a summer camp story, but it's not very interesting. How dumb of me is it to say that? But I've never been to a summer camp ever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We went to a summer camp type place for our senior days, but as people who listen to the show know, any high school function we reference on the show, the smart money bets that Tom found a way to leave early, and that is another case. So Tom and I don't have any like memories of playing pop punk music at the big senior getaway or anything like that. But that was at like a camp type atmosphere. But I don't think I ever was. I went to like a basketball camp one summer, but I was never like away learning archery. Like,
right,
upstate or anything like that. I don't know.
I always wanted to, man.
It seems so fun. It's in culture so much,
Yeah.
It's like, I want a wet, hot American summer.
I wonder how many of our listeners, like, genuinely tweet at the show @_reminiscentfm. Maybe we'll put a poll up. Did you ever attend a sleepaway summer camp? Because it seems, like you said, such a huge part of culture that, like, I feel like I was the only one that didn't go. I'm shocked to find out that you didn't go. So... yeah, if you
never really, yeah. I was listening to Seth Rogen on Marin, and he was saying he went like a full decade of his life was. Now he admitted that it was like kind of a church thing that wanted to encourage them to eventually date. Like go through life experiences at this camp together, like kind of a thing. That's what he hinted at. It was my interpretation, I suppose. But I was like, damn. So they like kind of expected people to have their first kiss at these camps and stuff.
Oh,
I'm like,
dude, that's
movies
fucking weird, man.
The Parent Trap, the remake with Lindsay Lohan, is like the funnest portrayal. Even though it's an all-girls camp, there's like the one boy who's like, "Mom, come get me," but then like he ends up loving it by the end of the. I always thought that movie was like very hilarious. Actually.
I love that movie.
Yeah, actually, we should do a video of us doing the handshake together because I think that'd be fun. Anyway, that's not what this episode's about. They get in, and right away, I'm not sure what the storyline's trying to be. There's like a hustler kid with like a coins, like booty, like pirate booty in a briefcase.
No, dude, those are pogs. I really want to talk about
those. Were pogs. Oh,
yes.
So that ties into the pog scene later. Dude. I really do appreciate because I'm like, okay, there's going to be like a money storyline here. But okay, so it is 1991, like in multiple ways.
Yeah, there's a kid who walks up to another kid sitting at a table with a briefcase. He pulls a handful of like wooden pogs out, and then the guy pulls out his like bookie, like note-keeping book, and like writes down.
Yeah.
And that's like, is this dude like hustling pogs on the playground? Like, is it a pog broker? I don't understand. I want to know more about that storyline for sure.
It's definitely a hustler kid. And I've been watching, we got Disney Plus for the Hamilton thing for the free trial, and I was definitely squeezed in a few Recess episodes because that's my favorite, probably one of my favorite shows as a kid, if not ever. And I miss how much I loved it. But yeah, so they got a hustler kid, and they kind of go through like the typical summer camp like prototypes, which there's a prankster who hits a couple with like a slingshot, like okay, and then there's always like a very fat child stuffing his face in like any summer camp.
Oh, and they got it.
They got it. Yeah, they definitely nailed that. It was a chunky boy chowing down for sure.
Some big league chew, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of gum. Can we just talk about gum for like a minute?
Yeah, dude.
Because it's definitely a Wet Hot American Summer nod where there's a kiss later in the video where they put gum in their mouth. But of the two gums referenced, definitely like peak kid gum with a big league chew for one, which is made to be as close to chewing tobacco pouches as possible without actually being chewing tobacco, which I didn't know until later in life what that was supposed to be.
Right.
Like, yeah, you're chewing like the big league. I'm like, how is this still a product? How is this still a thing? As John Oliver might say on his program, how is this still a thing? And then they go juicy fruit, which I'm like, back in the day, never lasted super long, but the taste was worth it. But it fell apart so much that it wasn't super worth it. But here's a quick question. Do either of those gums seem like good pre-kiss gums to you? Because my interpretation of Wet Hot American Summer is I would agree, I suppose. Wet Hot American Summer, in my head, they're putting minty things into their mouth right away as a quick breath freshener before they do a little smooch.
Right.
But putting juicy fruit in is just like, it's going to be a very interesting ride for both of us. Because if I'm putting juicy fruit in, I want to enjoy the juicy fruit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, dude, yeah, the juicy fruit only lasted like a minute, but it was such a treat. My favorite was always the zebra stripe one that had like the stick-on tattoos, you know?
Ooh,
and
yes.
very quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to derail the episode, but the past year I've been enjoying buying Pokemon cards again. And it's funny how your perception of these like niceties as a child changes when you can just afford to buy the thing. Like I remember when I was like 8, you had to like happen upon the zebra gum. Like you had no control over when it presented itself to you. If it was there, you got to indulge in it. Or like Pokemon cards, right? It had to be your birthday and you had to get like one pack. It loses all the magic when you can go to Target and just spend $50 on as many cards as you want. Like it's so different when you have to stumble upon this thing. Like I could just go buy as much juicy fruit or zebra gum as I want. What the fuck was it called? Zebra Bazooka Joe? No, that was a different thing.
No, Bazooka Joe was a fun children's gum, because it had a comic.
Long.
But it was also hard enough to survive a nuclear holocaust, I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't think the point was for anyone to actually chew it. I don't think. It came in a weird shape as well. I never quite got that one. Zebra gum was obviously the color scheme, very eye-grabbing. Fruit stripe.
Yeah.
Fruit stripe.
Okay. That would be my gum of choice. Even if I was,
Okay.
well, I wouldn't be smooching a girl. That's the thing.
Well, I think we're learning with all
nervous.
these comics and tattoos and similarities to chewing tobacco that the point of gum aimed at children is very much less about the gum. I think we're realizing.
priming them for chew.
Right. The comics and the tattoos is like, it doesn't matter how the gum tastes. It's just gum. I don't know. These kids don't. I'm trying not to just make you bleep everything, but these kids don't know anything about gum, which is the G-rated version of what. It's like a mid-season resolution not to make Tom work too hard, but it makes kind of the story have less of an impact. Like, these kids are very uneducated about gum. Anyway, okay. I'm losing my sense of self as I talk. I don't know. Okay, so there's a pretty
These kids don't know anything about gum.
Anyway, there's a pretty indulgent 90s scene where eventually they're just playing pogs at a summer camp. It's like, okay, this is, if we didn't know what they were going for here at Camp Oladios, it is a 90s vibe. If the 91 on the side wasn't doing it for you, them going absolutely nuts over a game of pogs in a group setting definitely gives it away. Like, okay, I relate 100% to all of this. Let's talk about They Cut Away. It is a music video after all. There's music. Their lead singer is at this camp. He's wearing sunglasses, headbands, typical neon era kid, although forward thinking, this came out in 2005, pre-neon era. But like I mentioned earlier, I think there's lines you could draw. No fewer than 2 accessories on his head at any given time, which is true to the neon era scene kid, the pop punk idiot of the scenes we often talk about. Whether it's a sunglass, or we'll talk about this next week, but Mayday Parade, there's a scene where he has some big white rimmed sunglasses. I'm like, yep, I remember seeing those around. But there's no fewer than 2 accessories on your head at any given time. Do you have any commentary on the accessory claims I've been making throughout the show?
It's funny. I didn't really realize it until you just brought it up, but it was such a hot thing, right? There's this picture of me and Zach, not pedaling, busking at this ice cream stand, and we both had headbands on because that's what Never Shout Never did, and he was an acoustic act, so we wanted to be just like that, and we had the glasses on and the headbands and the bright shirts that we got from Salvation Army and the short shorts. We were just basically Forrest in this video, is what we were trying to be. Love the headband. It made my hair look a little weird, but I always loved it. I thought
it helped keep the bangs out of the eyes. It was almost like a necessary scene haircut aid, you know?
when Hairspray wasn't enough, you got to throw the headband on.
Which it rarely was. So the singer's in a field in the dark, kind of being very awkward, which he might have grown into himself. Maybe he was a lanky, awkward kid. Maybe he was a nerd, but he's a handsome guy. I don't know if I'm buying the like, I'm so awkward thing, but he is just kind of taking his shirt off and stuff, having a real breakdown, like a fundamental breakdown.
Dude, I think, okay, so for like bands that are categorized as
you said you liked it, right?
I love it. So for bands that are categorized as like cutesy, like we're going to talk about this next week with Mayday Parade, but
cutesy or cutesy electronica?
Cutesy MySpace. All right. So there's
I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
We talked about like, is this band cool? Do they rock? There was kind of this like, I feel like it was this unspoken thing of bands that were quote unquote not cool, which at the time was Mayday Parade. I love them. Everyone else is like, oh, they're so lame or whatever. It seemed like people didn't like bands that wrote songs for the girls, is like my perception of it anyway. Like Mayday Parade was clearly trying to reach a demographic and they did it very well. Now, Hellogoodbye is that kind of cutesy thing, but it's almost like he was a little bit self-aware and he has fun with it. So like he could have tried to like look like this coy, cute, sexy guy who's like, oh, I'm just so awkward. But he's like really overdoing it. He's flapping his arms around. At one point, he's just taking his shirt off. Like his arms, he's not even in control of his arms anymore. And it's so goofy and it fits the vibe of the rest of the video. I think it's hilarious. I love the shots of him dancing because it's like so crazy. Like he's not even trying to look cool. It's just like, I'm going to lose my mind right now.
Right. I agree with everything you said. I guess part of me, when I was trying to settle into like, okay, what is the story? What's going on here? It's like, okay, he is. Because sometimes we go through these music videos from the era, and maybe all music videos, probably all music videos, where sometimes there's just not a strong through line or a story. And eventually you realize he's our protagonist and they go to a dance, right? Can we talk a little bit about the fact that he's wearing a pink shirt? Like there was a pink thing for a minute, right? Even in rap videos, people wearing pink polos and stuff like that. Like maybe I'm making this up, but there's like a joke in Get Him to the Greek, which I watched with my wife recently, where Pharrell is filming a video and P. Diddy is like playing this record producer who's like, the song's called Gangsta Gangsta. You can't take the pink polo off. Anyway, but I feel like there was like a pink shirt thing for a minute. Maybe it was the movie Mean Girls and I'm over exaggerating, but I don't know if you feel the same way, but I don't know if there was like a 2000s pink shirt thing that maybe I'm blowing this out of proportion.
Well, okay. The video is supposed to take place in the 90s. In the 90s, like I think of the Saved by the Bell intro or like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like those kind of visuals, right?
Okay.
But it kind of just looks like our hometown of Erie, Pennsylvania in the year 2006. Like the shorts were short, the shirts were bright, headbands. It seems like this whole thing came back around. Like there were very bright colors. Even the metalcore bands, they're the ones that had the like huge
lime green and
gooey
stuff.
Monster everywhere that I feel like was a Devil Wears Prada thing. And then everyone wanted to be them. So they all piled on.
Put a quarter in the swear jar, Tom. You were the first to break, and that makes me very happy.
I said the F word quite a while ago, actually.
Oh, did you? I missed it entirely. I've been living this pure lifestyle or healthy. I didn't even notice. The negativity just bounced right off me and kept flowing downstream.
You know what's funny? I don't even remember swearing. I don't know what I said.
We were talking on the phone before the episode. We're like, yeah, we're going to try to swear less. And each of us were just like, it was very like needlessly, like unnecessarily profane phone call. Like the more I thought about it, because I'm like, I don't want to be creating more work for Tom. But why did I just, anyway. You know what? You're right. And we ran into this in the Forever the Sickest Kids video a little bit where it's like, is this a period piece or are they wearing scene stuff and just kind of fitting in? Right. You know what I mean? Like, is he dressing pink pre-neon era visionary type stuff? Or is he trying to be an early 90s, very bright colored individual? It's hard to tell, but it was hard to tell in the Forever the Sickest Kids episode. He's like, is he wearing like a thrift store jumpsuit, ironically, in the scene? Or is he trying to blend into the race car aesthetic of the Whoa video? Right. So there's kind of a similar thing at play here, but we don't, it is what it is. We can keep it moving to the big dance scene. There seems to be a big dance scene at every or at least in Wet Hot American Summer, there's like a big, I don't know, final show. You go to camp, there's a big production. There's a big final dance. There's a, I don't know. But they're at the dance, and I don't know, there's a lot at stake, it seems. There's love interests getting introduced, spelled out in peanut butter celery sticks and everything like that.
There's a moment in like the dance portion where a guy, he like throws a blue shirt to a kid, and then he just ends up catching a red one. I don't know if that was like a mistake or if that's like from something, if it's a callback to something. I really wish that I had watched Wet Hot American Summer last night to like catch all of the references, because it's so clearly like everything is like a nod to that movie. But I thought it was funny that you could tell this dance thing's going on. There's these crews forming. They initiate some other guy, throws a blue shirt, catches a red one. I don't know. That stood out to me on the first view, and I have to think that wasn't an accident, but I don't know what it's supposed to mean.
Not a lot, because the scene right after is a kid blowing a booger out of his nose, his own nose. So I think it's safe to say that like any commentary wasn't necessarily supposed to. I think they were going for goofs and shenanigans. Yeah. Weirdly large booger that he shoots. I'm like, okay, that seemed excessive.
It was like a piece of paper or something, or like the gum wrapper.
I hope so. I thought it was wildly unnecessary. I was like, okay, maybe I'm getting too old. I'm like, that is disgusting. That is such a large boogie. That boogie's huge. Like we could go without that. Go back to Dancing in the Woods. I never thought I'd say that, but the booger is just not the vibe. But then he, there's a kiss. He kisses Kate, whose name was spelled out in the celery logs, or the ants on a log treat. That is a good camp treat. Credit to their set designers.
Totally.
Good camp treat there. A lot of protein.
A lot of work, raisins. Though. Dude, I made...
A lot of work.
Whew.
A lot of work. Whew.
You're going to do that for a whole... I guess if you put it in a little...
Whole day? Huh? What's going on? What's going on in your life? We have the time for your ants on a log.
It takes so damn long.
It's so long.
If you put it in one of those
steps.
like the piping things, maybe you can do it a little easier. But I remember making a few ants on a log last summer, trying to get a nutritious treat in, and I feel like it took me 20 minutes to put the peanut butter in the damn celery.
It's too much. It's just too much. Anything involving peanut butter should take less than 5 minutes to create and consume. There is nothing that peanut butter is involved with that should be, and like if you're there and there's the jar of peanut butters in your hand, you already know what kind of day you're having. As a kid, PBJ, it's fun. As an adult, considerably less fun when the peanut butter comes into play. It's too much. It's too much time. I agree.
All right. So anyway,
when the older you get, the fewer steps involved. Spoon, jar open. I'm eating the peanut butter. I mean, that's really what's going. That's the transaction. Is there celery involved? I guess bread and some jelly. Whatever. I'm not having a good day. Anyway, enough about that.
This episode brought to you by almond butter.
Yeah.
Peanut butter sucks, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
I hate it.
So we have a kiss.
I could do another several minutes on peanut butter, but I won't. Okay. Although I will say this. The grocery store hack, it's so expensive, like weirdly expensive. The crunchy store brand, because it's crunchy and there's actual peanuts in it, it's harder to tell. It's not the top of the line Jif type situation. So if you're looking to save a few bucks, the little store brand crunchy kind, save yourself some money on peanut butter. Because peanut butter. I'm using my first swear word of the episode to say that I didn't realize it till now, we're a very anti-peanut butter show. Okay. Out of nowhere, there is a guitar band.
Oh yeah,
that he becomes the lead singer of. It's like 80s ? And now I'm like, okay, we're having fun. But that's the first time where it's like, there were two parts in this episode, 3 that made me go like, where is this headed? One was him dancing in the woods and getting naked. The other one was the pogs. It's like, okay, we get it. It's the 90s. And then the third was like, guitar band, what? And he's in the outfits now too. It's like he had one kiss. He winks at the camera. Now he's all of a sudden the rock star. We all knew he was all along because he's again a very generally handsome man. But yeah, how do you feel about the big climax of the whole rising action climax situation, and then how it fades out? Or thoughts on the last few scenes of the video?
I really love the kiss. pulls out the juicy fruit, and they're kind of like laughing at each other, which I don't know if that was just them breaking character, but there's a moment where his like buddies behind him are like cheering him on, like, yeah, dude, you got it. And he looks back and kind of like does the little head nod thing. And I feel like I've always wanted that kind of camaraderie in my life. And Pat, I cannot express how long it took me to get the word camaraderie close enough for Google to fill out the rest of the word. I could not spell that word for some reason. But it was so odd. Like, his friends are there. He's finally getting the girl. And to anyone, I don't know, just because of how sexually repressed I was in high school, I really love that moment, dude.
It's all coming out. We start talking about summer camp. I knew we were going to have some type of revelation here today, and just we got to let it all out. Let the pogs heal. Got a lot of healing that needs to happen today. They
kiss, and then at one point they like fall onto the table, and it just goes on forever.
Everybody's kissing everybody. Even Booger Boy gets a date.
It's awesome, dude. I think it's so fun. Like, it's such
it's fun. Fun's a good word for it. At the end they do kind of like a awkward silent slow clap thing, which was very 2000s. I feel like, we're watching them kiss, or this is kind of a weird scene. But let's take a minute to ask this important question that we've been dancing around this whole time, and before we wrap up, does this band rock?
Hard as
Oh, okay. Here's my Michael Barbaro thing. It just doesn't maybe hit quite as well on our show, but that's me saying, whoa, interesting. I don't know if this is their most rocky song, as Adrian hinted to at his beginning of the show takes. They had the capacity to write a nice slow love song as well, which is more of what this is. I think Shimmy Shimmy Quarter Turn is like their best song in my opinion, but we're not really here to maybe debate that. Is this your favorite? Is this their best song? Is my other question.
I mean, I only know 3, and this is the one I remember the most. So
hey, probably, there you go. It was probably. I mean, it has to be their biggest song if it got up in the.
It went platinum,
40, right?
dude.
Like, it was just. Platinum is nothing anymore. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just kidding. That's honestly amazing. Actually, wait. Yeah. I mean, like, actually, now that you mention that, they might low key be one of the most successful emo bands of the 2000s. We're just like with this quirky little music video, like they were huge. Okay. Here's one more question before we do songs of the week and whatever else we need to get to. Forgive me if I'm speeding through this. First memory of autotune.
Oh,
I want to say Bartender by T-Pain, but I imagine this song came out way before. I didn't even know I was hearing autotune at the time, maybe. You know what I mean?
I think I wasn't like cognizant of the effect. I feel like the first time I remember being aware was probably Attack Attack, but I heard this song before Attack Attack was a band. So probably the first time I actually heard it was this. The first time I was who was it? Cher or someone that did it like way back in the day, right? Oh, no, that's a vocoder. Whatever. Anyways, either this or Attack Attack. I don't know.
Attack Attack. Someday we'll do an episode on Attack Attack.
Oh my
I just don't know if I'm emotionally ready for that quite yet. Okay. But I think what was funny, I thought, kind of as we kind of wind down here, we both sent each other the same live performance of this song where I didn't realize it until way too late, because I was like, wow, they're playing really weirdly, but they're not. They kind of do a Nirvana thing where they are in that moment faking, like they're lip syncing or we're told to, and they totally just go nuts on stage pretty much.
Oh, right. Like that famous video of Smells Like Teen Spirit where they're all like making it
just
as obvious as possible that they're not actually playing. And this band's doing the same thing. I think it's really funny. There's a moment where the singer's standing over by the keyboardist and the keyboard guy puts his arms through the guitarist to play the guitar. And then the guitarist puts his arms through the other guy to play the keyboard. It's just like total chaos. I think it's funny that we both sent each other the same video. So funny. So funny.
I think, we joked on the Forever the Sickest Kids thing where it's like, I picture someone in a lab in a Hot Topic headquarters or something like, how about this? 3 lead singers. And they're like, brilliant, sir, brilliant. And for this band, he was like, drums. And they're like, guitar, The guitarist is the lead singer. Oh my goodness. 2 keyboards. They're like, whoa! Groundbreaking. Like, never seen anything like it before, sir. Lovely, groundbreaking, inspirational. We'll sell so many armbands and headbands. and glasses and hats of different kinds. Accessories keep us afloat. We will one day rule over Spencer's Gifts in this suburban shopping mall that will die in a decade or so. Okay.
Oh my God. I missed
Went a little farther with that than I
2006.
thought. Sometimes you just need to cut me right off. And it's like, start talking about, doesn't matter. Okay. That's probably it, man. I think that's probably it. I feel good about it. It was fun. I like it. It's a good hit song. It's a great hit song. Very approachable.
It was very fun to revisit.
It scratches an itch.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite of theirs, but it scratches an itch. Takes me to a place.
Yep.
Not to summer camp memories because I don't have any. Neither do you. Do you guys have any? Again, tweet at us. Because we need to live vicariously through whoever did. Because obviously we're just trying to get our hands on as many fake summer camp memories. You know what? Here's some homework. Go watch the Parent Trap remake. It's a delightful movie. Love it a lot.
So good.
I have class and you don't. Okay, we should probably end it. It's getting weird. Songs of the week or no?
Yeah, I got a song of the week.
Well, then why don't you just say what it is then, or why don't you?
So Taylor Swift put out a really good album.
Whoa,
Like,
yeah, that
a
kind of, we haven't
surprise
even
album.
talked about it. We used to do Taylor Swift episodes before we knew what the show was.
I'll still do
What's
one.
your?
I
I'm
don't give
going
a
to pick
freaking
one off
heck.
that album as well.
Okay.
You want to say what our picks off that album are at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Last
Peace.
Great American Dynasty.
Oh,
Wow.
it's a good one, dude.
Yeah,
I said peace in case you
I did.
couldn't
I heard
tell.
you.
Okay. Yeah, dude, it's a killer album. I love it. When we were talking about the pre-release up to Lover, you were expecting like a return to form, back to like the folky stuff. And this is, borderline like an indie electric pop album, but a little bit of return to form on some of them. Really good album. I love Peace. I think it's like one of her most compelling songs she's ever written. I love it.
yeah. I haven't had time to I'm not over the song "Cruel Summer" from Lover yet.
Oh my
So
God.
people don't talk about that song enough, in my opinion.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm ready to really emotionally dig in. I went through it a couple times, but I'm like, I'll save this for it's kind of like not watching Succession or something, or not watching Breaking Bad until you need it or something. It's like, I got this one ace in the hole that I'm going to enjoy when stuff really goes south. And whoever hoards content like that, you are probably nailing this quarantine. But yeah, I'm going to save this for when I really need to get into it. I'm just not over Lover yet. There's too much mining of that. Also, I don't know. There's like a Taylor Swift place your brain goes to a little bit. It's like, maybe I don't need this hurt. I don't need this hurt right now.
I mean, I bought all of her 4 deluxe edition CDs from Lover, and I haven't even read all of her journal entries yet. And then she puts out 8 vinyls. I'm like, am I really going to spend $380 right now? And
If I were a betting man, I'd say yes, you will, but you shouldn't. As a friend, I'll say no, but if I had to guess, I'd say you will or might.
I only bought 1 vinyl, but
Oh, okay.
anyways.
My tears would have ricocheted had you told me you bought all of them.
Oh, whoa.
But you only bought the one.
Oh, which gives me financial peace.
as opposed to 7 in August. Yes, and financial peace was reached regardless of that mad woman's invisible string of hoax creativity. No, we're stretching now. Let's shut it down. Burn it down. Shut it down. Thanks for being here, everybody. We love you a lot. And I love you too, Tom.
Hey, man, this is just me trying. Love you, dude.
It's just a... All right, I'm turning off. I'm turning it off.
See ya. Hello, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed that episode. It's been so long since I've listened to Hello Goodbye, and I'm so glad that we revisited it this week. Let us know on Twitter @_reminiscentfm. Is this the best Hello Goodbye song? And tag your friend that introduced you to this band and thank them profusely. Thank you all so much for being here. Check out the post show at patreon.com/reminiscent. And please subscribe to the podcast, rate and review, all that stuff. But either way, love you so much. So glad you're here. Talk to you next week. Bye, everyone.